I didn't want to be a mechanic. I just needed somebody. It's just like programming. I knew, he was working on the island. There were a lot of people like doing music on the island. So I just like, okay, I want to start like doing this mechanic stuff with you. Since you work on the island and you have a mechanic shop, which is a big, wide space where there are different mechanics and everything. So fortunately, getting there for me, like doing the mechanic job, I started falling in love with the work. And from there, I just like paid attention to it a little bit more closer. Even if I wasn't happy I was doing it, you know, whenever you do something every day, you just pay a little more attention to it. So from there, I just kept on doing my freestyle. I didn't let the mechanic stuff stop
you
me.
from the freestyle.
I kept on doing my freestyle and posting on my Instagram page. And on a very good day, I got a message from Sidney Talker, like I always say. And I thought it was a fake account because he actually like commented on like 5 of my videos, and you know, I'm like, nah, this cannot be real. Like a celebrity won't do this. I thought it was a fake page, so I didn't bother checking. For some reason, I just said, oh, let me just go. Let me just check it. Then I clicked on the page and I saw 1 million followers. That was when I was like, okay,
this is a real thing.
I think this is a real stuff.
Yeah.
Then I think I tried to reach out to him. Then I saw he already dropped a message already. I'm like, wow, I think something's there. Then I had some fallout with my boss at the mechanic shop.
Before or after this?
After the text, I had like some fallout due to some issues. Then I just like explained to Sidney and told me, come over now.
Right.
From there, we just started like bonding.
Let's talk about this quarrel with your boss. This is a convenient issue with your boss. How did this issue come after Sidney Talker has reached out to you? It's like, did you engineer the issue?
No, like, you know.
Because you're about to blow that you have an issue with your guy.
Yeah, like I was talking to Sidney Talker about, like, Sidney Talker probably answered me like once in 2 weeks type stuff. So as at that time, it was like a new relation, but me and my boss had some like fallout due to the fact that, you know, like it's something I cannot spill here because I'm trying to keep his image clean.
Right.
So
but we don't know him now.
Nah, I'm gonna just keep that private.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, you know, I just like noticed some kind of like weird movement around in them.
All right. So it's not something you did.
Nah.
Something that he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like, nah, I can't be here.
Right.
Yeah, it was a bad energy. I don't want to surround myself around.
So you left?
Yeah.
So you don't talk to Sidney and tell him that you're no longer with your boss?
No. I spoke to Sidney. I spoke to Sid. I'm like, yo, this is what's going on. Like, it's really not good. I don't like being around this type of environment because it was really like affecting me on another level, my Christian life and everything. So I'm just like, nah, I have to move. So I spoke to my parents and they weren't cool with what happened to. So I'm like,
what were you telling Sidney? Was it that you wanted to move in with Sidney? Was that the thing?
Nah.
What were you talking?
I was just speaking to Sidney.
Just briefing him.
Yeah, Sidney knew I was on the island. Right. So I was about to move back to the mainland.
Oh, right.
So I was just letting him know that, I might just like move out. And as at that time, me and Sidney were cool a little bit, but not really that cool. Tight because I don't see him. I don't know where he stays.
Right. So you went back to your parents' house?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was hell, actually, because like, you know, I do go to the mechanic work to provide for my family, my dad, my mom, and whatever I gain from there. So at that time, I get like, maybe like every weekend, I get like 1,000 naira. So when I go home, I kind of like split it, you know. I have to be the boss of my own money. So I stay with like 500 and just give my mom like...
Yes, 500 for me, 500 for you people.
Yeah. No, my mom is actually going to prepare something.
Right.
So for everybody, then I try to look for other plans, you know, in case I need to go to the island to see Sidney. So I'm going to have some things to just put together. So
Right. So how long did you spend with them when you were back?
Max 7 months with them.
Right. How did you move from that to being signed?
So during that time, I and Sidney we got close for like maybe like a week. Then for the rest of the month, we didn't speak like that. We didn't see or something. But during that time, Sidney was putting me through like some new artists and telling me, he needs me to study the way these guys make music and everything. So during that period of time, I was like literally listening and trying to come up with a sound.
Right. Yeah. So based on, so it's like he was guiding you,
Yeah.
and that was helping you to recreate your
Yeah,
sound.
because
yeah.
as at that time, I don't make Afrobeats.
Yeah, what are you
I
making
make
then?
only trap songs.
Right.
So he was like sending me some artists like, yo, you gotta start making Afrobeats and everything.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's
When were you now signed? Was it within that 7 months period?
no.
Okay.
Me and Sidney kept in contact, and one day I just lied to him that I was on the island, and it was like, oh, he would really love me to come over, and I'm like, oh. Then I just found my way up.
Yeah, because you're like, this thing needs to move fast.
Yeah, it needs to move faster.
So you went to his house?
Yeah, I went
then
to his house.
Then he listened to the music for the first time live? Or
Nah, I never recorded us at that time. I was just freestyling.
Right.
So when I got there, we freestyled about 7 trap songs that day.
Right.
Just one day, we made like 7 trap songs,
Yeah.
freestyle.
Yeah.
And from there, it was just like, he likes these trap songs and everything. And when I was about to go home that same day, it was just like, oh, you're signed or something like that. It was just like...
Just like that?
Yeah, I'm like...
What?
You know, as at that time, my mind was like, Sidney knows Davido. Maybe he wants to
introduce
get
you.
me to Davido or something.
Yeah.
Then when it was like, you're signed, I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
this guy has a record label.
Yeah.
But I was like, anything. Let me just get out of the streets.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You grew up, it was a family of 10.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And obviously, it was it a tough childhood?
So my family, like growing up, I lived like with all my brothers and my sisters, but like before the age of 10, my family was scattered everywhere.
Oh,
you know,
right.
some of my sisters were sent to my auntie's house, some of my brothers were sent to, so it was just me, my younger brother, and one of my senior sister. With my junior sister, it was just 4 of us remaining.
Right.
With my mom and dad, but the rest
were all over the
scattered
place.
everywhere. So
Did that make you sad?
Yeah, it was a little sad because I missed like my family. We used to be like this big family. So it was like a little sad. I couldn't get to see my brother anymore or my sisters.
Yeah.
But I just had to understand, like, you know, it's life.
It's life, yeah. Is it that you just spend time thinking about yourself and you figure it out, you talk to your parents? What helped you come to terms with it?
You know, we came from I'm from a family that we are very happy, we are very open, we are very jovial. So when we didn't need no explanation to know what was going on.
Right.
We didn't need no explanation. So we just kind of like vibed with it because everybody had to make their choice. Oh, do you want to go or do you want to stay?
Yeah.
Do you want to go? It's better. And most of my aunties and uncles were a little bit rich or like, okay. So some of my sisters and my brothers just had to choose like, oh, do you want to go?
Places, yeah.
Well, you know, I as a person, I already like fell in love with like my street and everything. So I couldn't just like.
You fell in love with us. What did you fall in love with?
You know, like the whole street vibe.
The
you
vibe,
know,
yeah. Right.
the whole fight, the girls, the agbero, the how to make money. You feel me? So I was just like,
yeah.
hell no, I can't leave my friends. Like,
Right.
we're doing a lot, man.
Yeah. But your friends are afraid because I understand what you mean by the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's also what has created your own sound now. But that time your parents thinking, we don't like the people that these boys are associated with.
So right from time, my parents were always like, okay, we don't like you in the streets, but I don't know. I guess my parents just believed in me because they know I make music like a lot. So it was just like at a particular time, my mom didn't really like my set of friends.
Yeah.
I understand why she didn't like my set of friends because she wasn't seeing from like my perspective. Yeah, but I liked my set of friends because like I'm in the streets. These are the people that, if anything happens to me, these are the people that are gonna fight for me. You feel me?
Yeah.
So at a particular time, I don't know. My mom just fell in love with my friends, and when I bring them home, she's like, "Cool."
What are the things you guys got up to? Yeah,
in the street?
Yes.
Look at my leg.
Right.
I had that from a street fight though.
Right. A serious street fight.
Yeah, like, you know, we had like there's a Balogun in our street in Ojo as at that time.
Okay.
He had like some songs and they were really like rough and they were like really, really the street guys. And so they were staying on the bus stop. We were inside the street. So like most times they come into our streets like in like, they probably be like 70 boys. They just come outside with cutlass and everything. Just come. They just pass through the street. Everybody keeps running inside. So I think there was one day where I and my friends, because we two in number, we probably like were like 80, kind of, because we are like plenty, like really, really much like that came together. Some people not from my street though. Some people from like most people from far away streets. They just because they know we do something creative or we sing or we play. Sometimes they come around and almost every day they leave their streets, and because my house was like the major like place, because we had like an uncompleted building at the back
behind
of my house. So that was like the
that's
major,
the headquarters.
Like, that's where we stay. So that night too, we were like moving, like we were trying to go to the bus stop to get something, and these guys were coming, and some of my guys had some like stuffs with them, but like, you know, I was like one of the head of like the whole stuff. So while we were going, like these guys were coming, so like they were running towards us and everybody was running. So I was at the front, so I was running back. I was at the front, so I was running back. Then I fell on the floor. Then like a towel hit my leg. Then scattered the whole stuff. But I was still running because, like, you know, we weren't as much as them.
Yes, you're running for your life.
Yes, now we had to run now because when we meet them on our own terms too,
that's how they
have to run too. So you feel me? So
and even after that, you didn't leave the streets. No,
that was where I grew up. Now it's just like we understood, like, bro, if I'm on my term, right? You're cool. If you're on your term, you're good. So,
right.
Yeah.
So when did you eventually leave the streets?
On my left when I got signed.
Yeah, this was 2022.
Yeah, I
2022.
left. I got signed 2021 ending. So I left like 2022 ending.
So something took you away from that place. Money took you away.
Yeah, I just had to, like, you know, me and my guys, every time that we stay together, we always talk about money, creativity, how to make our music blow up and everything. Yeah. So when I had the opportunity, I just had to. Yeah.
This year you had a medical incident.
Yeah.
You rushed to the hospital. What happened?
So it's a lot of like events coming together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So firstly, I had this issue of I don't eat.
You don't eat.
Yeah.
Right.
That I don't eat. I didn't know it was so serious like that.
Right. It's like you can go a whole day without eating.
Yeah. Right. And back when I went back to my hood, they're like, basically, I would just like to say, you know, there's some street stuff that needs to be handled just in the street. Don't need to bring it out. So that's just street stuff. Needs to be handled in the street.
That also contributed, that's what you're saying?
That also contributed with the whole I don't eat stuff. So it was just like it was waiting for something to happen, then everything just came together.
So let me understand, sorry. So there's street stuff that was happening that you don't want to talk about because it's for the street. Yeah. That led to you not eating.
No.
Okay.
It's just like I wasn't eating enough. My health was like, my hygiene was like really, really bad. It wasn't good. Okay. So when I had like this street incident and the issue and everything, so it just kind of triggered the whole.
All right. So you were not eating, so the street incident triggered this.
Yes.
So the not eating was the foundation. Then this thing that happened in the street now triggered. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Made everything like pop out. So, you know, it was just like blacking out and not knowing what's going on.
So you blacked out?
Yeah.
You were at home when you blacked out?
Nah, I was just coming back from like the whole stray incident and everything. So I was going to the hospital. I went to the hospital to heal like my wounds and everything. Right. So when I got there, like they kind of like just heal, like do everything that they need to do. Yeah. Then I was on my way home. Then I don't know. I just blacked out.
Oh wow! Were you alone?
No.
So you were with people?
Yeah.
Who had followed you to the hospital, and then so they had to rush you back to the hospital. Yeah. This is more dramatic than.
Like, I woke up and I was like, what's going on?
Yes. And then I told you that you blacked out.
Yeah. I woke up and I was like, what's going on? Then I saw like the whole drip stuff, and they just had to move me from the hospital because it wasn't safe too. So
it wasn't safe for you to be in the hospital because the hospital was in the same area.
No, where I had like issues was like so far from the hospital.
So why wasn't it safe to be in the hospital?
I don't know, because when I woke up, I saw like some stuffs online where there were videos of me and where I was. So
Right.
it was just like, oh, this is where I was
Yeah.
already. This is where I am. So
Yeah.
it was easy.
For people to know where you
trace.
are. Yeah, so you had
So,
to, for security reasons. Right. So how long did you spend in the hospital?
I think I spent about 3-4 weeks
Yeah, such a long time.
in the hospital. Then I had to be transferred home because the other hospital where I went to, I think when I was there, I was like getting stable a little bit, but I just needed to stay in the hospital. So there was report because I think somebody broke like my window of my car that was parked and took out some things from the car.
While you were in the hospital?
Yeah. So we know that it's not safe too. So we just had to move out, and I went home. So I go home